victim dynamics in narcissistic relationships. Why is it important for you, if you feel like a victim, to understand how there is two victims in those relationships? One is you and the other one is, you know it, the narcissist. Why can I say that? The narcissist is a victim or feels like a victim, or you too are in connection with each other. You found yourself, let's say by law of attraction if you want so, because there is something on an energetic level, on an emotional level, which is just right for both of you, okay, and which goes just dandy with each other. This is the way how you guys feel, and this is how the narcissist feels, and this is how you feel. But you have different ways. You have basically diagonally opponent ways. Do you say this, opponent ways to deal with it? The narcissist says, I'm never going to get in contact with my victimization, with my feeling low, with my feeling depressed, with myself feeling that I am nothing, that I will never come up because this person feels like this. And instead of this, he will make you feel like this all the time to maintain contact basically with his or her own victimness and her or his own feelings of being not enough, being not loved, being whatever. So the entire power dynamic between the victim and the narcissist, or the victim who understands he or she is the victim, is a power dynamic, and the narcissist says, I'm gonna subdue you, submit you to my dynamics. And you said, do you know what you said? You said, okay, I will, because I'm no better than that, because I'm not worth better, I'm not worth anything. So I rather go and connect with you because you're great, you're grandiose and you're a winner and you know how to deal with people and you know how to deal with life. They don't. It's an illusion. But you say, because you feel it so strongly, because your victimness is so similar, that you do connect, and you really like this person probably, and that you say, and you really make connections, also on different levels once you're good, that you say, this is perfect, something is really perfect here. And it is your level of emotional hurt and of victimness and of understanding that you are not worth it, and that you're let's say a hurt person, who hasn't learned to love herself or himself. And this is the same with a narcissist. Though the narcissist's behaviors are opposed to those which you have. You are the one who's taking on the guilt, who's taking on the responsibility to treat those people the way they want you to. It makes you feel good, okay? And the narcissist is trying to get you all the time a little bit lower than their feeling of victimness, to make sure that they are living this grandiose life, that they are good, that they are better, that they are something. And it is only in being mirrored by you as the victim, by taking you in all the time. And if they feel that you're swifting away, they are creating like this kind of honeymoon thing. They're creating like this up thing, where you really connect and where they're really nice with you and really beautiful. And at the next moment, they just get you at this point where you're vulnerable and where you open up and where you think everything now is turning and everything's changing. And that's where they get you, and get you even lower than you were before, to make them feel better and happier and being a winner. I hope you understand those dynamics, because they are very twisted. Those are very, very sick and very twisted dynamics. But if you understand that there's two victims in the game, and this victimness of this person the mirror of the victimness is always the moments when this person, the narcissist, victimizes you, and even clearer it becomes at the moment when they are lifting you up and you become happy and open, and then they give you the, the shutdown, let's say, and to tell you, look what a miserable something you are, to then make themselves understand how great they are, like how much upper they are, how superior they are. And there's a third dynamic, and you know it too, that those people usually have this golden child or this golden pendant, or be it in a relationship, the other golden people, you're being compared to, or which is somehow like in a tweaky way being around in your relationship with each other. When this person, this narcissistic person, makes you understand, look, this is my flock, this is my people, this is how and who I am really, these great people, this is how I am, like I made them, and you, oh my God, I tried so often and so hard to get you up there, but there's nothing to do with you, I gave you so many chances, and now I say, I gave you so many chances to lift me up, to be there for me, to take all the responsibility on, to take on the guilt which I was giving you, and you were taking on the guilt, and you were taking on the responsibility, and you were trying everything to lift this person up, and inside this person is something or someone who shows itself, or which shows itself at the moment when you're getting out of the contact, when you're getting energetically out, when you're getting into no contact, when you are kind of done with the relationship, and where you're saying, oh, I'm going to go somewhere else, this is too crazy here, I'm going to get out of this. And this is when this person like needs you back, because this person understands that this is the energy which this person, the narcissistic person, needs, your energy of victimization, what they need to feel just a little bit above you. Because in the end, and very deep inside of themselves, they do feel like really low and really victimized and really low self-esteem. And this at the moment you get out, because how do they react? I'm going to kill myself, this life is not worth it, this person cries all day long, and you're like, this person gets really depressed, I'm really worried. No, this person is depressed, okay? And this person doesn't want to feel their depression over the path of putting you under them, but they never want to get in contact with their victimization. And what makes it even more difficult and more twisted, those dynamics, is that they're not only feeling bad because of their own upbringing, because of their own feelings of worthlessness, let's put it like this, of missing love in their lives, which is really not a beautiful thing to have, of course. But they don't want to get in contact with their depression. They don't want to feel the guilt they were feeling. And if they felt already the guilt they had with their upbringing, they now also feel the guilt of having, let's say, victimized people in their lives and being so like self-drawn and so self-convinced and so superior and so whatever they are. And this makes it also much more difficult for them to lift themselves up to a point where we would say lift them up to where they get in contact with their emotions, because there's so many now twisted emotions inside of them, as they feel being a victim, then they're making other people feeling victim, then they're doing as if they weren't a victim, and then they're identifying themselves with the golden child or people, and it makes it really, really, really twisted for them to really get in contact with all this and to heal. It is much more easy for you as the clearly identified victim to get out of those dynamics, though it isn't, because you are identified also with this superior person, with this person you feel a very strong connection with, which is fine, which is like where you kind of meet, on your level of hurt, of victimness, of how you were hurt in life. But the thing is that you need to get out of those dynamics by, let's say, constructing an entire, let's say, own life around your victimness, which makes you feel worthy or feel sufficient or feel that you can go out of this relationship and construct something new for yourself, because what is inside of you is a big old void, is a big old nothing, and you need to deal then with that at the moment you get out of this bondage, let's say, which you have with the narcissistic person. Okay. Second thing was how this person talks to you. So you need to identify how a narcissist talks to you. You need to identify how this feels inside of you, how let's say what the content is of what this person talks, how this person talks to you, and well, mainly how it makes you feel. And usually, and there comes a third point, usually it has much to do with guilt. Why is guilt so important and so central to the narcissistic relationships? Because this person, as I now explained, is not in contact with their own responsibility for their own feelings, for their own hurt, and for excuse me, for what they're doing with other people, with the victim, and for what they're doing in this construction with their golden people with whom they identify. Okay, I hope you get the dynamics. So for you, it is important to understand that this person is not assuming responsibility for everything they do in life and for everything where they again get in contact with their real victimness. This is the moment when they make you feel guilty, when they make you responsible for what is going on in their lives. So the dynamics of responsibility and of guilt, not taking responsibility, and instead of this making you feel guilty and feel responsible for their feelings and for what's occurring in their lives, this is a central dynamic. That you all the time feel that you are the one having to make them happy, and it serves you. Understand this. I tell you this with much love, but this serves you to not having to look inside of you, to not having to deal with your own victimization, to not having to deal with your void, to not having to deal with having a completely empty life, because you were, let's say, raised, you were let's say conditioned to saving other people all day long. Okay, so you have become the savior for people in your life, for animals, for whatever is unjust in this world. You are the savior. Okay, you see it, you feel it, you're sensible to it, and you wanna rescue this. Okay, and this is like the let's say the sense, the purpose of your life. And that doesn't go well, because in reality, you are empty inside. There's nothing of self-love, there's nothing of love, there's nothing of you feeling worthy, but you are very, very, very sensitive to other people and to unjust dynamics, because it is your pain and you are in contact with this pain, which is good, So when you notice that there's a dynamic of victimization going on in your life, you need to do something. And this is to take care of yourself. You can't keep on taking responsibility for other people's lives who are mistreating you. You shouldn't take responsibility for anybody's life, unless it's your children's lives, or your pets' lives, You should take responsibility from now on for your own life, and to fill yourself up with self-love, to fill yourself up with self-worth, to fill yourself up with understanding where your talents are, where your creativity is, and to get out of relationships with people who prey on you, who make you feel like a victim, with people who, well, with narcissists, There's also other abusive types of relationships, but basically it is an abusive and a narcissistic relationship which fits into the relationship of a huge void of a personality, and it's not a personality, it's a whole lot of behaviors which you understand are the signs for you to jump in and to rescue people, to not having to get in contact with yourself, to not having to deal with your own wounds. Sometimes we don't know the way, I understand that, but it's really important for you to make contact, to get in contact when you feel the void, to get out of the relationships at the point when somebody or a narcissist is accusing you, is making you feel guilty, that you understand this is where I have to deal. And of course you're falling into this big old hole where there's nothing, because you haven't filled this up. You have tried to fill this up with rescuing people, with being responsible for other people. This is how you've learned to deal with life, with yourself. This is how you understood you are important, where you are somebody. And this is just wrong, because it hurts you. And as long as you understand that you are in relationships which hurt you and which pull you all the time into these victim and responsibility dynamics, you have to understand to get out of it and then to deal with yourself. And there's a big old void and a big old emptiness and a big old depressive depressive behaviors going on, which or simply sadness, or simply whatever, emptiness, whatever is coming up inside of you. And this is where you need to make contact with at that point, to be able to heal, to be able to come out of those dynamics. I hope this was a little bit helpful to understand that narcissist dynamics are a conjunct of behaviors which you can identify, that there's two victims. There is not only you as a victim, but there is another victim, and this victim has like the same kind of wounds as you have. This is why you connect, okay? But this other victim, which is the narcissistic person, is a person who wants to live different power dynamics and who needs you to be always a little bit under them to feel a little bit better than you do. There's a great sensitivity. There's something you really connect with each other, and it is on the level of your hurt, all right, of your victimness in reality. And then there's the dynamics. You need to identify them when you are being compared to, or when there's like this other person or persons around who these people identify as the golden, examples of who you could be if you would live up to it. So identify how they talk to you, and identify when guilt dynamics are coming up. So this is really important, that you understand when there's coming up guilt, there's let's say a request for taking responsibility for a person who would need to take responsibility. And then when you see there's guilt, there's something you have to do, which is dealing with yourself, which is dealing with your void, which is dealing with your emptiness, which is dealing with your lack of love, of self-love, of self-worth, and to fill you up and to heal now. Okay? I hope this was a little bit helpful for you. If you want to subscribe to my channel, if you're interested in my coaching programs, you can contact me at christinajunge.com. It's linked down there. And I like your check the next video out, which is about narcissistic dynamics as well. I love to have you folks. I'm curious about your comments, and I talk to you soon. Bye now.